We're live, and yes, it's Friday. So shout it out. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I'm telling you, I'm excited for Friday today. Good, good morning.
Now, look, as you go through your life,
Uh-huh.
as you accumulate birthdays,
Yes.
life teaches you some things. And there are some things that you learn particularly well. And there's some things that you learn that if you taught it, it would help someone else. So today we thought it would be interesting. We've done this show a couple of times before, but we thought it would be interesting to run it again. What can you teach?
What can you teach?
What can you teach? Given an opportunity, what can you teach?
That is so important to realize. I get the personal opportunity with many people who are feeling the urge to write or to share or to publish, but they don't know what they want to say or write or talk about. The first question I ask them is, what have you been through? Then the second question I ask them is, what did you learn from that? Because once they tap into that space, that head space, that they navigated through some treacherous terrain oftentimes, by helping them to see, first of all, that that's behind them, and then second of all, that they learn something as a result of that, they're like, I know what I'm teaching.
Even
Stephen
you have
Colbert,
learned some stuff that you can
absolutely,
teach.
absolutely. Stephen Colbert actually solidified it in an interview that he was having with Anderson. What's his name? Cooper Anderson. Anderson Cooper?
Right here?
White hair? Yes, love him. Anderson Cooper asked him that he asked him about a statement that he had made about having no regrets and not being angry about any situation anymore. He says that sometimes he still falls into it, but he's mindful when he does that if that situation had not occurred, I would not have this lesson and I wouldn't know this
That,
understanding.
to me, that's when they come to their wisdom.
Absolutely. And it brought uh, Anderson Cooper to tears
Yeah.
because he has some memories that sometimes we have memories we wish we didn't have.
Moments that, and you didn't even have to tell me that. When you told me it moved him to tears,
Hmm.
I knew he could remember those really hard times,
Yeah,
those really ugly times, unfair times in his life. It was
absolutely.
unfair that he was in that situation. It
Absolutely.
was unfair he was dealing with that persecution, and it hurt him.
Absolutely. And Stephen Colbert very patiently, very humbly, not above, not high minded, not that, you got to get over it. No, listen, God didn't forget you then.
Mm-hmm.
He kept you through all of that.
Say it.
And I was like, all
So
right,
that you
Stephen,
can become this.
this.
So that
You could not be all the people that are in your chair had it not been for that moment that you wish had never occurred.
we probably say it 5 times a week, 10 times a week. Nothing will be wasted.
Nothing will be wasted.
No time you spend in your personal development, no reading, no studying, no training, no learning, no money spent towards an achievement of something. I
And
saw
no
that one hit you. I
failures.
apologize. Hmm.
Oh, I actually missed it. I was doing like this because my hand was itching.
I saw I had spoke and a speckle of spit or something came out of my mouth. I saw it and it landed on Lisa's forearm. So I didn't want to do it, but it did.
No.
So I'm hoping you've had a good week. Friday is still a work day.
Absolutely. It's
But
still a work
Uzama, I
day.
think I can guess, but I don't want to guess. What can you teach?
What can you teach? I am excited because my husband, in all of his wisdom, is coming to the place where he is embracing the position of mentor and the position of
Men's confidence
men's
coach.
men's confidence coach. I like that name.
Hmm.
I hadn't thought about that name. But it's because there have been men that have been connecting to him and asking for help and asking for information and not necessarily wanting it in the area of sales, but they know, see, and embrace the wisdom that is Brian.
You have a unique perspective. Um, as my wife, but for the whole time we've known each other, 11 years that we've known each other, you've seen men come, raise their hand, talk to
Mm-hmm.
me, and really because of you and maybe a couple of other people, I didn't even realize what I was doing, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize that I was operating in that role of a mentor for men, and I understand that people's confidence gets shaken. And it's
Absolutely.
kind of on brand for me to be a men's confidence coach, but
It
I'm
really
really,
is.
how many times have you seen men reach out to me, and some of them reach out to me for years?
And some of them I have because I prayed for this man, not necessarily as my husband, but for men. I have been conducting women's empowerment meetings with my business partner, Kamika, for many, many years. And the one thing we heard over and over again, and we saw over and over again from the women was, oh, I wish men had something like this. Well, the thing is,
They can think of men in their life.
we can't be that for the men.
Hmm.
And a lot of times women try to. A lot of women try to set up and lead and coordinate men's groups. Sit down, having several seats.
They do.
However, we went to the man. We prayed to God diligently for him to send a
That's
man that
awesome
was
to me.
willing to
That whole
take
story is
the
always
mantle.
awesome to
And what's interesting is God was preparing him even before he gave him to me.
me. Yes. I was doing the thing that they prayed for in another city for the same amount of time
The
they were
same
doing it
amount
for
of time.
years.
But we didn't meet each other for 3 years beyond the time that we began
Yeah,
praying.
man. Yeah. So it was awesome to me. So yeah, let's do our morning
We're
intro.
going to talk about it and more after these messages.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am LisaSantiagoMcNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Uzama says, I can teach why having a small amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio is important. And he goes on to say, by the way, I like how Lisa dressed you in that orange the other day.
Yeah, that's like, I'm going to make that a hashtag probably. My wife dresses me funny. But that's nice. I'm going to take some clothes to the dry cleaners today because she has been dressing me funny, and she's going to keep on dressing me funny.
And what I found interesting yesterday, Brian was when we went out last evening, we went to a location that there was standing room only, forgetting that it's Juneteenth.
Yes.
However, one of the ladies that we've met before, she told Brian, "Oh, you look nice," and Brian was like, "My wife dresses me funny," and she said, "No, your wife dresses you in linen, grown man outfit."
Yes, she did. She dressed you like a grown man
Like
in
a
linens.
grown man in linens. That's right. Let the record show.
We went out to hang out at our spot. No seats available. Every seat was
Standing room
taken.
only.
And it was Juneteenth, so every seat taken. I mean, we ended up sitting outside the restaurant for a little while, and then we just went on. But boy, look about all the stuff we did yesterday, sweetheart. We had business club.
It was amazing. It was an impromptu and amazing um, business
A
club
lot of our regulars weren't there because of all of the
because of
events,
Juneteenth.
but the people that were there, oh my gosh, we all poured into each other. It was great.
Absolutely, it was amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful that Ship on Site came. I'm so grateful that Legacy came. I'm grateful for the business,
Ventus.
the Bentus. I'm so grateful for the business owners that see the value in raising businesses in our community together.
Mhm.
Everybody might not want what you got, but somebody might want what he got, and somebody might want what she got.
When I first read this, I read this in a book called How to Sell Anything to Anybody by a guy named Joe Jerome. And then I confirmed it with Google
Mm,
later on. But the thing is, how many people do you know? The average American, feel this now, the average American knows 600 people. The
Where is this done?
that study,
Yeah.
well, that number's been consistent for many years. Okay.
Okay.
But if you look it up today, it'll be around 600.
That's
So anyway,
interesting.
yes, and you may know more than that. And here's the cool thing about that too, from another book. Of all the people you know, if you have an interaction in business with someone
Mm-hmm.
that goes very well,
Mm-hmm.
you tell an average of 3 or 4 people if
Mm-hmm.
the business interaction goes well. But if the business interaction doesn't go well or is upsetting, you end up telling an average of 12 people.
Yes.
So every single one person is a potential for the 12 people, every single person. And they know a reach of 600. So if you have a room with 3 people in it, that's potentially 1,800 people.
Absolutely. And so important to know that. And that's one of the things that we even discussed was even the value, or actually what was shared to us is the value of a smaller room.
We get that more and
Because
more.
we have a considerably 15 to 20 in our room. That's actually the sweet spot. I don't mind doing a quarterly event that's larger,
Yeah.
but 15 to 20 is an
Because you can
opportunity
touch
to really
everybody.
get to know everybody and
Yeah.
touch them. But I'm telling you, so one of the newer people that came yesterday, they were like, I'm glad who's here. I
Yes.
felt like that guy
She felt she had
one on
one-on-one
one coaching
attention.
and attention.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And her enthusiasm is so high.
Absolutely.
So looking at you, think about all the birthdays you come through, all the tribulations you come through, all the things you've learned. What can you teach?
What can you teach?
Yep. I can teach people how to step.
Mm.
I've also learned that I can teach people how to
Hey,
listen.
Dr. Sheila.
How to listen. I had a young lady in the meeting yesterday ask me, Brian, how do we learn to listen better?
Better. Yes, I thought that was a great question.
And
She always has the best questions.
she has the best question.
Absolutely. She always has the best questions.
I didn't think of it, but she does consistently have great questions.
Absolutely. And she's never afraid to ask them. Doesn't matter how big or how small someone might perceive them. She's like, this is my question.
Yes. Um, there was a family yesterday that brought their children, and the children
Some
six.
families actually brought their children.
That's right. Two families brought their children. They're out of school, Juneteenth holiday. But it always tickles me the one child that speaks up boldly.
Yes, he was amazing.
They'll ask questions like, "Oh, I can do it," or "Oh, what does that mean?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like you remember when we used to use an Advent co-working space.
Yes, and you need that. Absolutely.
And Red Lee's daughter.
Yes.
You could just say, one of your kids spoke up. She knows which one of her children that did it.
Yes.
You know that she's there or not.
Mm-hmm.
But the speaker was speaking, and the speaker said a word
whoa.
that the child didn't understand. Wait a minute, what does that word mean?
You don't use it. That's the point. If you don't know, don't use it. Me too.
That child that would boldly speak up says, I don't know what that means. So tell me about that. Or I can do that. I'll do it. Those little 8-year-olds, 6-year-olds that speak up like that, they delight me. Okay?
Yes.
Maybe I see myself.
Hi, I'm listening on the treadmill at the gym. Get those steps in.
Because you a baller. You take your life seriously. She's not only listening on the treadmill, she's communicating. She's commenting. She's commenting on the treadmill at the gym. So she probably got her headphones on. She got a phone in her hand.
Dr. Beverly says, grand rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. Yes, I can teach. I teach parents about who they are not, what their title has made them into. How? Let's do it. Define the word parent.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Get that fly.
It'll be
don't get him over here.
It'll be intrusive to the show if I take the fly. Okay.
Well, don't hit them over here next to me.
Well, I thought you and my mother like flies because
Those are your mother flies, and they are not mine.
yesterday we left the house yesterday, and you came out after me, and you came out relatively quickly, and you came out and closed the door behind yourself right away. And as you closed the door behind yourself, I saw two flies fly into the door. They were coming to the house, and if you had not closed the door, they would have been inside the house. So I was like, oof, we avoided those two more flies.
Mhm.
But there are cures. I should just do it today. I've seen all these cool things that you can make these concoctions with dish soap and baking soda and whatever else. Mix that up and put it in your kitchen and kill all the flies. So there's a whole bunch of home remedies for that. So I'm gonna do something.
There is. And I'm grateful. I should have had those already in the background, but I had to get dressed this morning and go up and down the
This is
steps.
Friday. It's always Shout It Out Friday. Yes, it is. Always Shout It Out Friday. I did your rap, homie.
Thank you, homie. It's coordinating with my unsung.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And just for those who may have forgotten, the show, Let's Talk About It with the Empowerment Duo, has a new schedule. A new schedule. We are here on Monday for the weekend update, Wednesday for Wisdom Wednesday, and of course, Shout It Out Friday so that we can shout out you and your businesses. Just remember, if the day starts with T, us you will not see.
Yep.
However, we will be playing some interesting replays from over the years. You probably won't get bored because we have thousands of them. So
you guys, it's a part of your day. And so what we've been doing, Lisa's done two of them this week here on Tuesday and Thursday, is run some of our old shows. Our best of. The first one she ran was the very first time we did a 1 hour show.
Mhm.
And the second one she ran was this January the 2nd of 2019.
The cannabis episode.
Yeah, we were hyped on that at the time, but it's not lost.
No, it's not
You
lost.
can pick it up anytime.
Absolutely. And nothing would be wasted.
Mhm.
Nothing will be wasted, even those connections.
But even watching those shows, it made me realize that we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
And we know some stuff.
And we know some things. Okay.
Even with the challenging technology that we dealt with it well. And that's not me bragging, that's me remembering.
Let me say something about the technologies today, because we've been experiencing on Zooms and even here sometimes hesitations and stuff.
Some lag times.
But it's not just us, it's nationwide. ESPN, a giant conglomerate.
I told you who's doing it.
ESPN, well, let me make this point. I want you to say it again who's doing it. But even this morning, they have like the 4 screens all over the country, 4 different people all over the country. This one here has connection issues. And then they go, let's go to the next person. And then the next person had connection issues too. And then the third person was clear, and the fourth person had connection issues too. How can that be all over the country? They got all the money, they got all the technology, and they still have connection issues too.
Absolutely. And many of them, if you will, are at home from their home studios and home offices. And they're being misled by the same internet companies that many of us are, who say when you purchase it that you have more than enough TCP/IP connectivity, Wi-Fi extension. However, as soon as they're ready to raise their rates, your service will go down, and they will say, "Oh, well, you need the latest in order to work like you used to work yesterday."
Yeah, you need to upgrade. And Lisa's probably right. It makes me nervous because when I know I have a client call and I know I need to be on point, I don't want to risk connection issues, and I don't like it. I'm just nervous about, am I going to be able to communicate freely, or do I have to resort to doing it by phone?
Uzama, thank you for the update. He said, heads up. Here's your bi-monthly reminder to earn Bitcoin on every, in all caps, dollar you spend at earnbitcoinrewards.com. That's earnbitcoinrewards.com. And get your Bitcoin with every dollar you spend. You just got one of them. Make sure you go back and sweep it up off the floor. Because there's been flies on the wood. the
windowsills.
windowsill that you've killed, and you just leave them there like they're not decoration.
I always thought the house cleaners would get
They do, but there's 2 weeks between, so I have to look at them for 2 weeks.
So last night we went to a couple places last night. Went to one restaurant um, to meet some friends, and they didn't show, which was fine because we didn't really want to eat there anyway. And then we went to somewhere else.
Is that your way to change the subject?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Live feed in front of company.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. That's what it was.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, we don't have to talk about that. We can talk about what
I
can
can't
you
see
teach.
hardly. What's going on? Are these new contact lenses not really
They
like
might
strong?
not strong enough. You put the sevens on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah. I'm having challenges seeing. I need to get it closer to me or whatever.
So put on your readers.
Now, if I put my readers on this distance right here, I won't be able to see. I can still come in here. No, it's better without the readers.
Okay, well good. So then you need to put on the 7.5.
Yeah.
I got some.
We got we're of an age where we have all kinds of prescriptions and contact lens prescriptions and medicines here and there and all kinds of stuff that you accumulate over time. You realize you accumulate so much stuff the longer you're alive. I lowered the temperature and I'm waiting for it to blast us because this house is warm to me.
Yeah, the temperature gauge of the house.
Yeah.
Uzama said it's exciting weekend ahead. Game 7,
Yes,
Sunday. Man. New furniture coming today. Okay, new furniture.
Congratulations, new furniture.
And about to get out on my bike. Happy birthday, Dr. Deborah Dunson. That's right. Her birthday is the 21st, I think. Okay. It might be the 20th.
But anyway, game 7. Last night was game 6. I was so disappointed in the game. The Oklahoma City Thunder didn't even hardly put up a fight. They were terrible. They didn't. I think if I was a conspiracy theorist, Uzama, I think last night was rigged because why did Oklahoma play all those bench players so many minutes? They played a lot of bench players, guys that never get in the game, and invariably they got blown out. If they had not played their bench players nearly as much, if they had played their starters or their regular rotation players more often, the game would have been more competitive. And it made me think that this might be one example, because it's hard to throw a game because you got competitors in the game. So it's hard to really throw a game unless the officials are in. But one way you can throw a game that doesn't look like throwing is don't play your best players that much. Play your bench players. And that's what I think happened. They played all their bench players all of these minutes. I think the game was thrown so that they get a game 7. I know that's a conspiracy. That's Sunday night at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a game 7.
Dr. Beverly says, today, even though I can shout out the businesses that I do serve, I want to shout out everybody on this live feed right now and to let anybody know that this is a family that prays together.
We do pray together. We pray for you. We pray for each other as well. I'm hopeful that you guys know what I do for a living. I'm hopeful you know what Dr. Lisa does for a living. And I'm hopeful that you know what each other does for a living.
Absolutely. And to that end, if you have a nonprofit or a book that shares a story of overcoming that might be inspirational for anyone, including children, young children like teens, if you would connect with me because we have an upcoming event that we will be showcasing and celebrating authors as well as nonprofit ministry leaders that cater to children. And we are doing it big, and we want to make sure that you are there. It will be in August. The date is tentative. So the first 3 weeks in August are the 3 weekends that we're choosing from. We've got to get that confirmed before we finalize everything, but we are ready to start getting people connected to participate.
We're celebrating books featuring or for young people, children.
Or stories to inspire children or those that care for children.
Yes. And it's going to be a big deal. Dr. Lisa's become very excited about this event coming. And what a blessing that we're in a place in our lives where we can just decide. It's always been the case We could decide that we want to do a project and then take steps to make it happen. We've always been the case. But you know what? It's because we have a Father. We have a Heavenly Father who gives us everything we need.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I can teach is that you can go farther together.
Mhm.
Independently, I can reach tremendous heights, but they're still limited by my own physical abilities and ability to sustain myself. But when connected together with like minded individuals that have a common goal that is non competing, they want to see the same thing happen, that actually makes it so much more tangible and manifests a lot easier.
I know some ladies here in Charlotte who 2 years ago decided, 2 or 3 years ago, decided that they're going to go into real estate business. So they went ahead and got their licenses. And they could have done it like a lot of people do it. Just go out here and make their mistakes and figure it out and build their real estate business. Or they could join a company that already has programs for them. Now, they didn't choose that particular company or this particular company, but they did choose a system that works for them, and they plugged in, and it skyrocketed their success much faster than they could have
done on their own.
Yes.
Good morning, Sister Jacqueline.
Sister Jacqueline, I was properly chastised about you talking about my color of my clothes yesterday. Go ahead.
Sister Jacqueline says, Arizona blessings, everyone. My, oh my. The things I can teach.
Talk about it.
Recently, I found over 35 written blogs titled Natural Hair Care Cafe.
Wow.
From 10 years
Wow.
ago, I'm updating and releasing them all later this year. People used to call me the hair whisperer. Cosmetology and herbs made me famous as a two-time hair Olympic winner.
That is amazing, Sister Jacqueline. I'm sure those 10 blogs are all amazing, but look at what you just realized. Lisa and I've already said it a couple of times. Nothing will be wasted.
Nothing.
You did that stuff 10 years ago. And you still know that stuff. You're probably better now than you were 10 years ago. You're still the hair whisperer.
And update those blogs with any current and new information that you have.
And nobody will ever be able to take away the fact that you're a 2 times hair Olympic winner.
Absolutely.
That's done.
Done and done. Done and done.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I see, Lisa and I keep telling y'all, we have the best friends. We got the greatest friends. Our friends are doers. Our friends get stuff done.
You know what's interesting is I only have a few copies of Discovering Your Why left. And he is always trying to get ahead of what God is telling me. I am going to say it again. I only have a few copies of Discovering Your Why in hand. I could order them. However, it's time for an update. Okay. That book was released 10 years ago.
2016.
And there are some things that I have learned since then. What do you say? It might be time for a second edition of Discovering Your Why,
right.
A Journey to Wholeness.
That was Lisa's first book published in May of 2016, Discovering Your Why, A Journey to Wholeness.
And in May of 2026, I'll be launching with one of my authors a wonderful Mother's Day anthology. And we are collecting information internally. We've already got all the people identified with lessons that you've learned from your mother, your recipe, and or some photos so that we can be collectively a part of this fabric of ancestral
the two ladies, Lisa and this other lady, they gave themselves a year to get it right. You know,
and to amazing. Do the release for Mother's Day.
Yes. They gave themselves a whole year and they started already working on it. And that's a beautiful thing to watch from my seat. I love all of that. Let's go.
It's time for your birthday. Dr. Deborah just jumped in the room. And Dr. Beverly says, today, even though I can, we read that.
No, but go to the bottom.
That is the bottom. Oh, there we go. Sister Sheila says, same here. Updates coming by end of year, Dr. Deborah. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Dr. Deborah, another birthday. Today's topic is what can you teach? And as many birthdays as you have accumulated, you gained a lot of things that you can teach on. That's our topic today. What can you teach?
Dr. Sheila's got updates coming to her book by the end of the year. I'm excited to be ready.
My first book published in June of 2016.
Yes.
Lisa's book was published in May. My first book was published in June of 2016. I have been saying for over a year, maybe even 2 years, there's a whole chapter in my first book that I wouldn't even teach today. I wouldn't even teach any of that stuff today because it's not topical anymore.
It's no longer relevant.
So it's time for a revision.
It's time for a revision and a re-release and a new launch and put some new life into it. And understand, guess what is going to happen every year at the same time on the same day? Black Friday. And it is now
the Friday after Thanksgiving.
That's right. It is now five months away. 5 almost to the day. Understand, when people start coming to me in the beginning of November talking about they want to have this, that, and the third ready by Black Friday, I tell them to have several seats. Because I begin ringing the bell or banging the drum in July for the end of the year updates and things that you need for your projects to be ready for that Black Friday.
Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. You got to get ready for that. That's a really big deal. You got to get
ready for it.
That's a big deal. You got to have your packages together so you can make. You can make your money for the whole holiday season that weekend.
Absolutely, if you're ready. If you're standing around saying, "Oh, I wish I had," and "Oh, I need to get." No, if you are ready, then you don't have to get ready. And July is the best time to get ready for November.
Yeah.
Because then if you want to add anything to it, take anything away, make any revisions, you've got time. Now, get them on your website.
The challenge with that, knowing that July is the best time to start preparing. The challenge with that is some people think that and agree with that, but then they start doing math. July, August, September, October. I got 5 months to make this happen.
Do that math.
I don't even have to get serious until the last 30 days, right?
If you need me to do anything for you by November, please understand having it to me and contracting with me in July is the only way to guarantee that. Yeah. I am not going to be expediting and killing myself in October again. My schedule is already full for October. I've got events and out-of-town speaking engagements already scheduled for November. For October. November is what I said.
I know, but you're okay.
For October.
Dr. Lisa is great at it. She's not the only one you could use, but if you want her help, she's laying it out for you. Dr. Deborah, are you ready for the birthday question? Y'all know what the birthday question is. We talk about it all the time. Dr. Deborah, if you're still in the room, are you ready for the birthday question? The birthday question is, up to this point in your life, what has life taught you? What has life taught you up until this birthday? And I asked that question from the 8-year-olds to the 88-year-olds to whatever. And I always love the answers I get because they're so insightful. And sometimes oftentimes I'm surprised by what they say. Really? That's what life has taught you. Amazing. Interesting.
Absolutely. That actually might make a good book for us to do as well. We could ask some of the people that we know and some of the people that we are come in contact with, or even some of the young people that are now at Kidpreneur with Business Club or coming out to our club, and collect those and compile them with some images. That would be a great opportunity to share with
another project.
Another project. Jacqueline, oh, did I miss someone? Oh, we got that one. Jacqueline says, another shout out. I have been participating in a challenge as an IBO, independent business owner with Sunrider, celebrating 15 years with this amazing company. I told Brian that you've been with them for quite some time. She says that their products are some of the best in the world. God, prayers, and Sunrider got me through several serious health crises, especially the massive heart attack. Gave someone our toothpaste who had an infection and she ready for root canal work in 3 days. Over 200 products. Give me DM me for your discount. That is Jacqueline Rosier. Connect with her on your Facebook Messenger. Direct message her, and she will hook you up with the discount. Matter of fact, I need that discount because I just put some things like black seed oil, uh, vitamin E oil capsules, and moringa in my cart on Amazon, but I could take them out of that cart and get a better value with you. And I'm looking forward to that.
I love Jacqueline. Okay. But I almost want to slap her hand. I'm setting the scene for you. You're at Thanksgiving dinner with your family, and you are an IBO with Sunrise, and you're at Thanksgiving dinner with your family and friends are all there, and everyone's having a good time. And your cousin shows up with his new girlfriend, and his new girlfriend is so nice, and she's so gracious, and she's so happy to be there. And you watch his girlfriend float from family member to family member, telling them, I have found this amazing opportunity. I'm with a company called Sunrider, and I've been using these products for 3 weeks, and I can tell it's making a difference in my life. And I'm so excited about Sunrider. And with her enthusiasm for Sunrider, other family members get enthused too. Other friends get enthused about her, talking about her new business. She's been with the company for 3 weeks and she's excited about it. And they get excited about her with her. And then you get pissed off at her because she's stealing your family and friends. Who is she? Ouch. If you can't say amen, say ouch. So,
I'm grateful, grateful, grateful that you are choosing to share.
Lisa didn't want me to tell that, but I did.
Yeah.
So Lisa knew what I was going to say. But that's one of the harshest things about our people that are entrepreneurs. If we don't let the people that already know and love us what we do, you're going to position yourself to be in an ouch moment. They don't have to do business with you, but they have to know what you do. They have to know, and you are largely responsible for that. It's 8:36. Time for Michael A. Carson's book.
I look forward to it. Now is the time that we're waiting for. We have the opportunity every day for Today in African American History, 366 days of historical events and accomplishments by NIFA finalist Michael A. Carson. And I am so excited that in on this day in African American history, June the 20th, we're in 1960. No, I'm going to read 2003 because it's
Okay.
about my favorite
Okay.
singer, songwriter, and record producer Lionel Richie was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame and awarded a star on Hollywood Boulevard. In the 1970s, Richie was a founding member of R&B group The Commodores before finding success as a solo artist with his self-titled debut album. And that is in 2003.
Yes.
Amen.
We're fans of Lionel Richie. I'm a fan
Look,
of
and we
Temptation.
say his name the way he says his name, Lionel Richie.
The Commodores. I love the story of the group. I love the story of how they came up with their name. They were very frustrated trying to find a name. They were looking all over the place. Finally, they decided to drop a dictionary on the ground and put their hand in it, and it came on Commodore. They said it was very close to the word commode, but it was actually Commodore. So that's what.
I love it. Jacqueline says, Dr. Lisa, I got some Black Sea and other products that will bless you. I have customers all over the country. I am willing to help and support the other person in Sunriser. I have attended over 300 meetings and I want to serve. And I appreciate that.
Thank you for saying that, Sister Jacqueline. When you talked about that, I made a note to myself. Sunrider offer my sales training because network marketing companies, they need what Brother Brian brings. You've been to over 300 meetings, and every one of them would have been better if they had some sales training with Brian K. McNeill. So I'm going to reach out to whoever the leadership is of Sunrider. Maybe you know the person's name. That's all I need. But I'm going to offer my service.
And we're going to inbox together today to make sure that I get my Sunrider account set up because you have Sister Jacqueline has actually sent me some Sunrider project products that I used, especially back 2 years ago when I was really challenged.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful and I'm looking forward to augmenting my regimen with some of it is a regime, my regimen with some of the products through Sister Jacqueline.
We've got some exciting things going on, and you have some exciting things going on if you're willing to admit it. I was listening to David Banner being interviewed on Shannon Sharp show. You know who David Banner is? Uh, he's a rapper, changed, transformed into actor, transformed into activist.
What does he? What is his rap name?
I don't know. David Banner's rap name, yes.
Oh,
But you'll know him when you see him. But
what's one of his songs?
I can't tell you his songs either. But I know him more of an activist, okay? A community activist, a black person activist. Okay, but anyway, you know Shannon Sharp?
I do.
Okay. But David Banner, some of his stuff is, it seems like he might have been drinking too much of Shannon Sharp's cognac. But he's talking about how he just got to the place in his life where he's been willing to enjoy it. He was so nervous the whole ride, all the music, all the movies he was in. He was so nervous about dropping the ball. He never would allow himself to enjoy it, and he would never allow himself to realize that you're great.
I wonder how many of us that actually happened.
And he said it took some people speaking to him to say to him, look, you are great and you have done great things. Accept that. You're great, man.
Absolutely.
And he said he needed some people consistently because he didn't think he was worthy of it. He said, I didn't think I deserved all the stuff that I was accumulating. You know, I'm just little old me. What's that called? Imposter syndrome. He was nervous the whole time. He's been in the game a long time, but he said he never enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Sister Jacqueline says, I have actually had several in-person conversations with Sunrider's owner, Dr. Chen. Great people, kind heart, and loves God.
You've had several conversations with Dr. Chen. All right, so I'm gonna reach out to Dr. Chen for some.
Well, love that, love that, love that, love that. And I'm excited that we have some time to hang out with you today. I look forward to what comes next. My favoriteest part of our broadcast, which is the time we get to say thank you.
And the way we say thank you is through our consistent contributors. Those are the people who have
You're gonna be moving the things up.
Okay, sure.
You softly touch. Don't press, touch, and push. Because if you press, it's gonna put them on the screen. We don't want that. Okay.
Okay.
I won't give you any more instructions.
The way we do that is with thanking our consistent contributors with greeting songs and with greeting logos. For example, up first today is Mr. Uzama Ra. He's got a song too, and it goes,
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama.
Good morning, Mr. Uzama Ra. Thank you for joining us. Up next is.
Keep going. You didn't need to touch that. There we go. Sheila. Sheila, storms are brewing in her eyes.
Oh, that's Sheila Gothard. She was up next. After Miss Sheila Gothard came Dr. Beverly, uniquely taking over Thomas, and her jam goes like this. Dr.
Beverly is on the show.
Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning to you and the rest of your crew. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. How you doing?
Hey, man. I know we have. Keep going. I know that we have Dr. Deborah in the house. Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and birthday girl. Mm-hmm.
Funding coach. Mm-hmm. She didn't answer the question publicly. Maybe she'll answer for us privately. What has she learned up to this? What has life taught her up to this point? Jack and Rosie has a logo, Her logo good. Well, according to Jacqueline, and she has a song.
Jacqueline Rosie, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. I'm so glad that you are
Good
mine.
morning again, Sister Jacqueline Rosier. My cousin Adrian Miller. You know, you come through here, cuz you can get you a jack.
Good morning, cousin Adrian. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so grateful for everyone that came this morning to hang out with us. And those of you that didn't leave any comments, shame on you.
Not shame on
We appreciate you, but we like to know that you're there. We want to be able to say hello. We want to be able to thank you for being part of the audience. We want to thank you for making this your stop by place.
you. Yesterday, I didn't check the weather, and I always check the weather, but yesterday was hot. I noticed at one point yesterday, I looked at my car and said it was 95 degrees outside. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It was getting hot now. I'm going to check the weather today, but it's getting hotter again.
The sister Jacqueline says, and once again, Dr. Lisa, you look marvelous. We were just talking about Billy Crystal yesterday.
Yes, we did. We talked about him. We spent a lot of time the last 2 days together, my wife and I, like every moment. The last 2 days, who was in there.
And it was really good. Oh, that means that your do not disturb is not on?
Can you believe that?
No.
Yeah, that was my indicator
To take your medicine.
to take my meds, take my drugs.
And understand that medicines need to be taken on schedule.
You saw it's on my schedule.
Yes, it's on your schedule, but just like your mother, when I say to her, do you have water? She'll say, yeah, don't you see it? And I said, no, do you have water that you're drinking? So you have medicine on your schedule. Do you have medicine on your schedule that you are taking?
Yes. You know I take my medicine. Not only do I take my medicine.
Whenever you think about it, whenever you get ready. Not when it rings.
Right. It's a reminder. It's not a command. It's a reminder.
The reminder is necessary to be heeded every day.
This is like the second time you try to start something with me.
Yes.
On this podcast.
Why not? Why not?
You don't need to start that with me.
Want to be starting something?
At least we trying to start something. I want Dr. Jeremy to tell us her life lessons up until this point.
To be starting something.
You don't need to start something.
It's hard to get over.
You know what I got on my schedule today, girl? I'm excited about it too.
In the middle.
My first appointment's at 10:30.
You know what? I had an opportunity yesterday to watch an amazing episode, not episode, but an amazing, the beginning of one of Michael Jackson's renowned performances, and got to hear some of the philosophy behind the way that it was opening.
Okay.
And I thought it was fantastic because he had spoken with the producer, the money guy, before the event. And he said, listen, I want to control when I start. Okay. Meaning he doesn't want to come on and you start the music and you go and I just fall in. No. He said, I want to control when I start. And they agreed because he's Michael Jackson, right? But only in the middle of them waiting for him to start did they realize, oh my God, what did we agree to? Because the crowd was going wild and Michael was standing there. Now he had given them a code that they could start the show when he took his shades off. And when that took off was complete, he stood there and the crowd was wild and roaring, just standing there for 2 whole minutes. The producer told his side of the story. He was screaming in the back, start the show, start the show. Mike, start the show. But then he had to start it in his head. He started saying, Michael, take off your glasses, because he knew that nobody would start until he gave the key, the code word, which is to take off those glasses. And Michael stood there, stock still, commanding the room for the entire 2 minutes, complete silence with the exception of the crowd roaring. I learned a lesson from Michael Jackson in that little clip, because when he took off those glasses, when he started to take them off, the people started to settle. He didn't take them off like that. He took them off like this, and the people started to settle down. And when he got them down to his waist, the 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 water and lights came up out of the ground, and the crowd went off again. But he didn't start singing, he started dancing. And he was in control of that performance from beginning to end. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Those are lessons from Michael Jackson.
All-time great performers like Sammy Davis Jr. He counts someone as a professional by the way they get on the stage and the way they get off. And he always thought Michael Jackson was a pro.
Absolutely.
Michael knew how to get on and how to leave the stage. Mm-hmm. That's a skill.
Prince as well.
Old head performers, if you get a chance to catch the Temptations and Four Top show, go.
Go. It is everything.
Those old heads know how to put on a show.
They even know how to work a pause into their whole, they work a break into their whole show where they are still on stage, but they are getting some break in.
And they're entertaining.
And still entertaining.
The stories is just beautiful. Sister Jacqueline says,
Dr. Lisa, I am going to send you something special from my Sunrider archive next week. It's rare, and I only give it to those who have an interest. Empowerment Family, summer is almost here, and I got something that will make your water wetter again.
Make your water wetter?
The water wetter. Again, DM me. I want some of that.
Oh, wow. Well, today's the first day of summer.
Yes.
It's June 20th.
I thought it was June 21st.
Well, those people who say that, they're incorrect. It's actually the 20th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought all of the seasons changed on the 21st.
March 20, well, let's go. March 21st, June 21st, September 21st, and December 21st. That's how it goes. That's probably the 21st. Okay. So March, June, September, and December. Yeah. The seasons officially change. Funny thing is, nature doesn't look at our calendar before she decides.
Nor does nature care.
Right. Nature it's summer to her. Summer whenever I say so.
I love those reels with that guy who does summer, winter, spring, fall shirts. The white guy.
Yeah.
He is so funny.
And laying down in his yard.
Absolutely.
It's like the same day, but it's summer. It's got all the stuff going on. And we think of the same guy?
I think so. It's a white guy. Yeah. He dresses as Mother Nature and all of the seasons, and he talks about the lazy seasons and the overworked seasons. Amen. Dr. Beverly says the lesson, and that is you are in control of your destiny. Yeah. And when I say move, that's how I move. When I give the cue, you will know exactly when, because I have complete control. Yeah. That's right. That's what he said.
To the degree that we accept that, Dr. Beverly, I think we rise and fall.
Absolutely. But Michael Jackson got that.
But I want to, when she's saying that I have control of my destiny, when we fully embrace that responsibility, opportunity that we have control of our destiny, I think that has a lot to do with how hard we rise.
Absolutely.
Recognizing I have control of my destiny.
We love it. Take some time this weekend to refresh, renew, relax, enjoy some Juneteenth activities. And in the meantime, in between time, Lady Sister Jacqueline put the link up there for her blogs. I'm telling you, go to naturalhaircarecafe.wordpress.com. And if you go to find the wetter water link, you got to click that link there and find out more. In the meantime, in the between time, don't forget to have sex. We love ya.